Coming up on DITV, an art exhibit with a strong message comes to the Old Capitol Museum.
Also, the city of Iowa City is taking its first steps towards becoming a leader in sustainability.
Megan Gibson gets a surprise coming up in sports.
A giant ice wall? Find out more in weather.
All that and more coming up on this Friday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere, DITV starts right now.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Jacob Gunther.
And I'm Abby Napolis.
On Thursday, a discussion was held at the Iowa Memorial Union to announce the 2019 to 2021 Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Action Plan. The focus on the plan is to improve the campus environment and support students, staff, and faculty on all identities and backgrounds. The key goals of the plan are to create a sustainable and inclusive and equitable institution, recruit and retain and advance a diverse community of faculty, staff, and students, integrate diversity, equity, and inclusion into UI's core academic mission, as well as enhance accountability, effectiveness, and collaboration of diversity efforts. Those key points were picked based on survey data collected from students and faculty.
For the entire month of April, the Old Capitol Museum is hosting an art exhibit. This art exhibit is unique because it conveys a strong message that fights back against a societal norm. DITV reporter John Chenoweth has the story.
The Penncrest Museum is hosting Humanize My Hoodie, an art exhibit aimed at getting society to ditch the stigmas behind Black people wearing hoodies. The organization also sells hoodies with Humanize My Hoodie printed on the front to help advertise their cause and spark a conversation. Co-founder of Humanize My Hoodie, Andre Wright, seated on the left with co-founder Jason Soul, says, quote, "The Humanize My Hoodie exhibition is a healing space for everyone. It allows everyone to talk about the issues of race and address the threat perception of Black males when they wear a hoodie. We are saying humanize us before we die. We are leaders, fathers, community members, not thugs, suspicious, or people that harm others," end quote. With such a strong message, I was curious as to how this exhibit ended up in Iowa City.
So Humanize My Hoodie made its way here to the Old Capitol Museum through a bunch of really interesting things that happened. But the main things are that Andre Wright, who is the artist involved with the project, is a University of Iowa alum, so it's a great fit. And then also, as soon as we heard about the project, we were just really excited because the University of Iowa theme semester right now is the American Dream, and we couldn't think of anything more fitting than Humanize My Hoodie to host.
The Old Capitol Museum recommends the exhibit to everyone since they say that there are many things one can learn and take away from the exhibit.
We hope that the exhibit will contribute to conversations that are happening on campus surrounding the theme semester, and that's the American Dream. We hope that it will also spark conversations in our community about the stereotypes and prejudices that exist.
I'm John Chenoweth. I'm here at the Humanize My Hoodie exhibit at the Old Capitol Museum for DITV News.
The city of Iowa City is making strides to be more environmentally friendly by cutting down on greenhouse gases by 80% by the year 2050. Action has been taken over the last 6 months to address energy efficiency in city-owned buildings, solar projects helping homeowners make their homes more energy efficient, and better infrastructure for electric cars. Part of the plan is to hire an Equity Fellow. The Equity Fellow would work with city staff on sustainability efforts. City Stability Coordinator Brenda Nations expressed her concern about commitment from the rest of the community. She said, quote, "No matter what the city does with our own operations, that's only 5% of our community-wide emissions. 95% has to do with more community, and so keeping the community involved is really important," end quote. For more information, go to dailyiowan.com.
Well, Jacob, the weather has been changing, and I hope that means spring is going to stick around.
Yeah, I hope so too. And let's toss it to Dylan Mahalki in the weather studio to tell us more.
Thanks, Abby and Jacob. Yes, we do have warm temperatures ahead, but more on that later. Firstly, there was a giant ice wall that appeared in Nebraska as of March 16th. Now, this video just surfaced a couple of days ago, but the true ice wall was from back in March. And this occurred because heavy rain threw chunks of ice from a river onto this farm, sweeping out trees, roads, and some buildings, actually. Now, they're still investigating what the direct source of this ice wall is, but we can speculate that it was from the river exploding. Now, as we move into today's forecast in Iowa City, we have a temperature of 48 degrees this morning. As we move into tonight, our temperature rises a bit. We have a temperature of 55 and cloudy skies all throughout the day. Now, as we move into tonight, moving the extended forecast, we have, like I said, our high will get up to 63 today and partly cloudy skies, but mostly cloudy throughout the day. Tomorrow we have a high of 71 degrees and 13-mile-per-hour winds with partly cloudy skies and a low in the mid-50s. Sunday, we do have a little rain in the morning. We have a 40% chance of showers with our high getting up to 71 again and a low of 50 degrees. Finally, Monday, we have partly cloudy skies with our high again at around that low 70s mark with a low in the mid-40s. Finally, our Tuesday, we get a little colder. We have our high at around 65 degrees and a low 41 with, again, partly cloudy skies. Well, you can see we got a beautiful week ahead. A little rain Sunday morning, but other than that, we're warm and sunny all the week. Jacob and Abby, back to you guys.
Thank you, Dylan. A former University of Iowa alum returned to the university this week to display two of her art pieces at Hancher Auditorium. Artist Lisa Codwell, studied art history and earned her bachelor's from the UI in 1986, and then began her career as an artist in New York. Her two art pieces, Folly and Curtain Call, were installed Wednesday in connection with the American Ballet Theater's performance of Whipped Cream at Hancher Auditorium on Saturday. The sculptures are made entirely out of candy wrappers, thread, and satin ribbon. Folly is displayed on the parterre floor of the auditorium, while Curtain Call is displayed floor to ceiling in the Stanley Cafe. Be sure to stop by Hancher and check them out before they're gone.
The University of Iowa will be hosting renowned public speaker, author, and comedian Nina G tonight. Nina G was discouraged from her career path at a young age because she has a stutter and is dyslexic. Now, 9 years after her start in stand-up, she has set out to inform those without speaking or learning disabilities the challenges she faced, as well as providing a sense of community for those that have similar disabilities. Nina has become well known for incorporating her learning disabilities into her comedy, as well as into her anticipated memoir, Stutter Interrupted, the comedian who almost didn't make it. Make sure to see Nina live while she's here. The show will be tonight. We'll start with straight comedy and end with a Q&A with the audience. You can attend the event at 8 p.m. in the Hawkeye Room of the Iowa Memorial Union.
Well, Abby, basketball season may be over, but that's not keeping Iowa basketball players out of the news.
That's right, Jacob. Let's talk it over to Zach Lohman in the sports studio with those updates.
Yeah, that's right, guys. We have breaking news out of the basketball program. It has been confirmed by several sources that Tyler Cook will not return for Iowa this senior season. The Athletic originally reported that Cook will enter the 2019 NBA draft and has no intentions of returning to Iowa. Cook led the team in points and rebounds per game. The athletics department has yet to officially comment on the matter. A lot of people were shocked to hear about TC leaving, but to no one's surprise, national recognitions keep coming in for Iowa's Megan Gustafson. Well, except for maybe Megan's surprise.
Dear Megan, your coaches wanted to let you know that you've been named the AP Player of the Year. What?
Oh my gosh! Congrats! Congratulations!
That was clever, you guys! Wow!
Congratulations! We're so sneaky! Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
It's awesome. So awesome.
I like paused. I was like, what?
Congrats, buddy.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Megan, that's huge. The AP Associated Press Player of the Year. Way to go, girl.
Well, obviously Megan was taken back there, but I'll be honest, I saw that one coming, and I bet there'll be many more to come. But moving on, after falling to Illinois State in the midweek, Iowa baseball is going to try to bounce back this weekend when they host Rutgers. Here's what the team had to say about moving on from the loss against Illinois to Rutgers.
Every game matters, and those are games that we don't get back, especially in a 56-game season. We don't have many opportunities, and those are the ones that we're going to wish we had back later in the year, and it's a lesson to be learned and us to carry it into future games, that stuff's not given.
we get the beautiful day of coming out tomorrow and wiping it away in the morning and having a good day of practice rolling into the weekend against Rutgers.
To take from this is that you know, we have to be mentally tougher. We have to be able to show up and play harder every single day, because we're going to have to do this again with Western Illinois and Northwestern down the road. It'll be a good trial run for us. So hopefully that's the lesson we learn. It doesn't mean that everything's falling apart or caving in, but you know, we have to learn from that. And tomorrow we'll wipe it away and we'll get back to hopefully a good practice and get ready for Rutgers this weekend.
First pitch is set for tonight at 6:05 p.m. at Dwayne Banks. But baseball isn't the only big event going on tonight in Iowa City. Carver Hawkeye will host the Men's Gymnastics Big Ten Championships, and we have Men's Gymnastics beat reporter Marissa Kraft standing by live in the newsroom. Good morning, Marissa.
Good morning, Zach.
So Big Ten start tonight. How is Iowa looking?
Iowa is currently ranked 7th, and they've managed to clinch their share of the Big Ten title, which is something that hasn't happened for Iowa since 1998. Iowa's strongest events are the rings and the high bar. As long as they can keep these routines looking sharp and clean, they can hopefully look to make up lost points from other events. Throughout the season, the event that's been the weakest for the Hawks is the pommel horse. But if Kevin Johnson is on tonight, we should be seeing at least one first-place contending score for this event. As far as other Hawks to watch tonight, I would definitely keep an eye out for Bennett Wang. He is a very consistent all-around athlete. Also, freshman Evan Davis is another Hawkeye to watch this weekend, as he's following closely behind Wang in the number of points for the season. Overall, I expect a pretty decent performance tonight and tomorrow from the Hawks.
Once again, that was Marissa Kraft live in the newsroom. Thank you, Marissa. The Big Ten Championships are set to start tonight at 7 p.m. in Carver Hawkeye. But over at Bob Pearl Field, Iowa softball has been off to a rocky start, losing 4 straight home games. They have not stopped one player from giving it her all. DITV sports reporter Allie Green tells us more about the triple threat player.
Although Iowa softball could not pull off a win against Northwestern, one player is working twice as hard to fight for the Hawks. Junior Donnie Ray Mayhew was not only the starting pitcher this past weekend, but she was also found making outs at first base.
It's always been a thing I've done. When I was younger, I pitched more than I really played the field, but I always did both. When I wasn't pitching, I was on the field, and here it's been more on the field, and then when I'm needed, I go in and pitch, and it's always been that way, yeah.
She serves as one of Iowa's most powerful hitters. Her hitting, pitching, and infielding abilities make her a triple threat. She has established herself as one of the team's most adaptable players as she switches from mound to base.
The only difference really is that with every pitch at first base, like in between pitches, I have time to be to myself and then concentrate right when she's getting on the mound. But in between each pitch as a pitcher, you have to be more in the zone. You have to think about the next pitch. So that's really the only difference there.
Mayhew continues to be a standout at playing both positions. She leads her team in being both a solid first baseman and a pitcher for Iowa. Make sure not to look away from Donnie Ray. Reporting from Bob Pearl Field, Allie Green, DITV Sports.
That's all I've got for you today in sports. Come back on Monday for a full recap from the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics meet this weekend. Jacob and Abby, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Zach. And it's Friday. That means it's time for the ICAC Animal of the Week. This is reserved for that one special animal at the Iowa City Care and Adoption Center who is ready to meet their new family.
This week's furry friend is Tenny. Tenny is a 3 to 6-year-old pit mix, and she's looking for a new home. Tenny is an active dog who loves all things outdoors. And among Tenny's favorite things are going for walks, runs, or hikes, and especially playing fetch, even if there's treats involved. Tenny is also very intelligent and has learned tons of commands. She even earned her own certificate of basic skills. If you're looking for a friend that will be your loyal workout companion, Tenny is the dog for you.
For more information about Tenny, check out the ICAC website, call the phone number, or just give her a visit. And thank you for tuning in to this Friday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news.
And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out the print edition of the news on Stands Now. For DITV, I'm Jacob Gunther.
And I'm Abby Napolis. Have a great day, Iowa City.